Alright, part 2 here. We are done publishing. We have this feature layer that we just published from arcmap or arcpro if you're doing it that way. We're going to open in map viewer. Incidentally, if we go back, this is where you can also look at your data, and if you want to play around with the field names or anything to do with the table, you can add fields, you can calculate fields, you can kind of work with the data there, but we did all of that ahead of time, so we're just going to open it up. It's going to automatically zoom me in there. We're going to see here. Let's rename it St. Louis Rack Scoring. Here's where you save. So we can save as St. Louis Rack Scoring, add tags. You can play around with different aspects of this. Mainly, you're probably going to want to click on either the parcel or the landowner, and then you can play around with what you want for pop-ups. By default, everything's going to pop up when you click on it if they're enabled, all the fields. Labels is a good one. I usually zoom in to what I want labeled. So this was scored by landowners, so we're going to label by landowner name, and we're going to set the visible range to just above where we are now, and we're going to edit the style. Color, I'm going to go a little darker, not quite as big, and it'll adjust on the fly for you. The halo, you can make different colors. I like white, a little bit bigger. We can always edit this later, but that's probably a good start. Parcel, labels, we're going to label the name field. Visible range looks good. Let's turn this off so we can see the parcel ones. Looks like it kept the same settings. Actually, in this case, I think we're going to label by parcel ID number. There we go. And again, those parcels will turn off as you zoom out based on your settings. Alright, so we save that. We'll go back to our content. Alright, we have a web map. Now we're going to create a web app. You can use any of these. In this case, we're going to do web app builder. You can pick different themes. This is just how it looks, the borders and all the different things. I like the tab theme myself. The map is just going to choose your web map. You can play around with those settings, but you can use the current map view, which we may want to do here. Zoom out a little bit. Widgets, this is where it gets fun. So the controller, the sidebar controller are these two on the left, the legend and the layer list. If you turn on or click this little button, the legend will always show up when you open the app, which is handy. Search, we want to set the search. I usually get rid of the world geocoder and have it just be able to search by the data that you have in there, so you can search by whatever you want. I usually do name, address, parcel ID, and then it'll display the name. Search for landowner, going by address and name. And then we have 3 widgets to pick from. In this case, and we can certainly customize and add more. Base maps was a good one, so you can change to um, imagery or streets. You don't need to customize that really at all. Another one that's good is it like a query or a filter? Um, Maybe I'll go filter. Filter by parcel. Super simple. We'll go acreage is greater than a certain amount. And we'll go rack total is any of, so that'll give a checkbox. You can pick any number from, in this case, rack scoring goes from 1 to 10. You can also filter by watershed. Let's say we want to do Huck 10. You can pick which Huck 10 you're in. So when you look at that, just simple stuff based on the legends or the data that you have. We'll filter by landowner as well. The mean rack total, let's say, is greater than X. Okay, another widget, helpful one is select. So once you get stuff filtered, you can select while exporting. You can select from either of those layers. Another good one. Let's say just for fun, we'll add query. You could put this one wherever you want, but query is a little more complicated, but not too bad. Do the same here in filters where you want to add an expression. Let's say our acreage is greater than a certain amount, and our rack total is any of. And then on the results tab, though, you want to probably use the same symbology as the layer and allow exporting. That's what I'd recommend. And then I forgot to mention on the filter one, you can create a custom filter for folks, so that's a nice button to check. Lastly, attributes just lets you put in some info. You can put in a link. You can put in a custom image. But yeah, hit save and away you go.